Lights, camera.
And action.
Start this our interview. I thank you for your participation during our interview for our Purcom, and I make sure that this is only used in Purcom and no other else. So, can we start po ba? I am Mr. Ryan B. Paidon from Department of Plant Breeding and Agronomy. So can we start our first question? You can answer po in vernacular or in Tagalog or in English, which do you prefer? Okay. Our first question po is,
What possible careers that a graduate of agriculture can prepare for?
So, as a graduate in plant breeding, well, of course, you can work directly in the Department of Agriculture in any division, but specifically, it can plant breeding major best served in the Department of Research, no? Because the main work of a plant breeding graduate is to develop varieties, and the development of varieties are in the research division of Department of Agriculture, and of course in instruction in the academe, no? Serving as an instructor in any university or academe they may prefer, and still be able to serve in private companies, seed companies, technology related to agriculture companies. They can still perform, no, their duties as plant breeding graduates.
As a graduate of agriculture, pwede ka mahimo og saka farm technician or farm worker or farm owner.
I am Mrs. Detalia of the College of Agriculture, and I'm teaching courses in crop protection. There are many careers that a graduate of the BS in Agriculture program can prepare for. The graduate can be, like me, a teacher. He can be a researcher. He can be a farm manager. He can be an entrepreneur. He can be I think almost every endeavor that involves the production of food can be a possible work for a graduate in BS Agriculture.
What motivates you to pursue this kind of work?
Okay, so right now I am in the academe serving as an instructor, and what the question? What motivates you
to pursue this kind of work?
Okay, so you know, as a plant breeding graduate, we are tasked to develop varieties of crops, but as an instructor now, our task is to develop new breeds of students, agriculture students, that will be the future agriculturists. So as an instructor, what motivates me is, of course, to contribute to the developing agri-students to be effective and efficient agriculturists in the future that will help elevate our agriculture industry.
The kind of work, like my line of work, like teaching,
Yes.
it's been a long time already, but I really wanted to be a teacher. And I would like to be part of the food production endeavor of the country as a whole. My contribution being a teacher in agriculture would hopefully be able to mold minds and help students appreciate the value of agriculture.
Do you think communication skill is important for this kind of work?
Communicate. A very good skill in communication is important in any endeavor, whether it doesn't mean that a good English communication skill, a good communication skill, whether it be Bisaya, Tagalog, English, or what, is very important. Not only in agriculture, but in all endeavors, so that you will be understood. So that there will be clear transfer of information from the source through the channel to the receiver, and be able to elicit the expected response as a result of that.
What issues or challenges have you encountered when starting this kind of work?
Para sa ko as a board operator, ang isa ka isyu ana mailisan gid atong pilido. Kay mahimo na tag John Paul Breeder, mailisan na gyud. Dayon ang mga challenges ana kakaparahan nang naiko ta sa agkulira, mao na siyang sagid nga challenges na kanang root gyud. Purti ka matay tanan.
So the challenges, so I was hired during the pandemic, so we have to deliver classes online, and as a first-time instructor, we don't have any training yet before on how to deliver classes online, so we have to study on our own how to use this Google Classroom, Google Meets, Google Quiz, Google Forms rather, and everything. So that was very challenging, and of course how to be effective instructor still even if you don't see your students, no? Kaya wala man ka sa physical classroom, so it was hard to deliver classes and to evaluate the students learning kung nakasabot ba gid sila, because you cannot see them.
What issues or challenges? Number one is, when I started being a teacher, one of the issues is self-confidence. When you are young and some of your students were ahead of you, you graduated earlier than them, they're even older than you, that's one of the issues. Self-confidence. Second is the issue on mastery of the matter that you are teaching, because you are a fresh graduate, and you're not yet very good at grasping the concepts that you have learned. Then mastery of subject matter was a challenge.
And question number 5 is, how did you cope with these issues or challenges?
Pwede ra pa nakapataw-an ang ating leader. Sa challenges, murag wala pa kitay panahon na magabalik sa bago kay murag 5 years na murag tama sa nag-boiler na lang ang tangkal ng boiler na para nangatay ka tayo.
Okay, so of course, self-learning on how to deliver online classes, and from time to time, we deliver our teaching. We have a lot. We innovate teaching strategies in order to ensure that the students are still learning, even if it's online. And from time to time, we evaluate their learning. We conduct quizzes and then exams to evaluate if they have learned something from my classes. And ask feedbacks from students as well. It's important, no?
You have to study and know your craft to be able to become more confident, to to have mastery of your subject matter, because that will also lead to confidence. You should have good interpersonal relations.
Okay, ma'am. That's all, ma'am. On behalf of my group, we deeply appreciate your participation on this. We make sure that this data shall be on the purpose of the academically, on the specific subject, purposive communication only, and for purposive communication only. And on behalf of my group, once again, we thank you, ma'am, for being part of our interviewee. And to God be the glory, and thank you always.